All right, let's solve Leetcode number 57, insert interval. Basically, you are given a list of intervals, and then you are given another interval, and then asked to insert that interval into the original list of intervals. The question also states that this intervals list has been sorted based on the first elements in each interval. So let's look at it. If we want to insert this interval into it, based on the fact that we know that it's being sorted based on the first element, with this one, we are going to have 1, and then we are going to have 2, and then we're going to have 6, right? Let's add their accompanying elements. So you have 3 here, we have 5 here, and then we have 9 here, right? So this is how we can insert that into the array. And now we can see that this from here to 3 overlaps with 2 to 5. If that is not clear enough, we can just represent it with a number line. Let's say it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. We know that the first one, 1 to 3, moves from here to here. The second line, 2 to 5, also moves from here to here. The third line moves from 6 to 9, right? What we can see here. Now we can clearly see that these two, like I mentioned, overlaps. But if we want to combine these two, we need to find the maximum of this and this, right? And that is how we are going to do that, max of this and that. So this is eventually going to be 1 to 5 and 6 to 9. So this is how we are going to insert it into this. But based on the fact that we've already been told that this element, this intervals is sorted based on the first element, we can insert this into the intervals using a binary search algo. And once we insert that, then we can iterate through this function and then find if there is a difference here, and then we pick the max, right? If you're not familiar with binary search algorithm, read a little bit about it, and you will be able to understand the approach that I'm going to use to solve this solution. But basically, binary search will help us insert into the right location and perform our iteration to get the answer. So let's look at how it's going to look like. So first of all, if it's not an interval, we return an array of the new interval. Now let's do a binary search. Left is equal to 0, right is equal to the length of intervals minus 1, while left is less than or equal to right. Midpoint is equal to left plus right divided by 2. If intervals, the midpoint of 0 is less than new interval 0, then left is equal to mid plus 1, else right is equal to mid minus 1, after which we insert the left position new interval. So while we are iterating, at some point left is going to be more than right, and the element we are looking for is going to be between the middle of these two, right? So we are going to select the left and put it in there. That is why we are inserting on the left hand side, right? Now let's perform our iteration for interval in intervals. Let's get our results. If there's nothing in the results, or the last interval in the results, the last element of the last interval in the results is less than intervals 0, press appended to the results, append interval to the results, because there is no overlap, right? If this one is less than this, there is no overlap. 5 is less than 6, then there's no overlap, right? That's what we did here. Else the last interval, the last element of the last interval will be equal to the max of that or the last of interval, right? After that, we return results, right? So this is it. I think the tricky part will be this one, trying to understand this one, but basically left will be the point where the new interval needs to be inserted. But let's see if this, I'm not missing anything. Yep. So this is it. This is how you solve Leetcode 57. Thank you very much. See you in the next one.